Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Monday Marketing Motivation. This is Jean Grunnert, the president of Seven Oaks Consulting. Welcome. Every week, I come to you with a marketing topic. I teach on that topic, and then I give you some homework. Today's topic, we're going to be moving away from SEO for today because something is on my mind, and I like teaching on things that are fresh in my mind. Today's topic is customer service. And you may be wondering, well, Jean, what does that have to do with marketing? Let me tell you, it's got everything to do with marketing. Customer service is a really important part of what we call retention marketing, or efforts to keep your good customers coming back. This topic is near and dear to my heart. When I did a lot of direct marketing and catalog marketing early in my career, it really became ingrained to look at the numbers of repeat customers because we knew as catalog direct marketing that our bread and butter came from repeat customers. And the only reason people come back as repeat customers is when they're really happy with their service, right? So what we wanted to do was measure the impact of good service. I'm going to teach you about that today, but I'll tell you a brief story of why this is top of mind. Over the last several weeks, I have been calling and calling and calling, trying to get a repair company in here to work on a major appliance that I own. It is an older appliance and a high-end brand. And the local repair shop that's only 20 minutes away that used to be authorized in my very rural area to serve this brand, they say they can no longer serve it. They've been removed from the authorized service list. So that is really challenging. When you live in a rural area where your nearest big cities are 1 hour one way and 2 hours the other way, the local repair companies are really what keeps the community going. And the local guy, when I call them twice, the second time begging them to come out and take a look at this appliance, they said, we can't, we just can't. Call the manufacturer. So I spent considerable time and effort phoning the manufacturer's customer service line. I was told because the unit is not under warranty, no, they couldn't help me. Not only couldn't they help me, but they wouldn't even give me the name and telephone number of an authorized service company in the two big cities near me. They kept saying, there's nobody in your area. I said, I know there's nobody in my area. I have to call the big cities and ask them. They outright refused to help me. The bottom line is, long story short, I have to, replace that unit. That's okay. That's just part of life. But I am so turned off now to that brand that not only will I never, ever buy that brand again, but, I am actually going to be, writing to their president or to their service center and telling them about my really bad service experience. I mean, these people in their service department were downright rude when they found out that my unit was no longer under warranty. It was like, okay, we don't care. They were rude and nasty, and that is just not acceptable. It's never acceptable to have your service team be rude or nasty. It's never acceptable to have anybody in your company be that way, but especially not your customer service department. The word service means serving your customers. And when you don't do that, when you basically, literally the woman on the phone said to me, can't help you, you're on your own. That's not customer service. That's pushing customers away. That's what we used to joke in marketing. In the marketing department I worked at in New York City, we called it anti-service. Like you had matter and anti-matter. Well, that was marketing and anti-marketing because it's pushing your customers away. So my experience was not happy. And it made me think of all of the customer service departments I have managed throughout my career, because I have. I managed customer service for a retail garden center for a while. I managed it for a financial services company. I had the customer service people reporting into me for a bit. I know the importance of service. I know how to measure it. And I have just seen consistently a decline in service quality everywhere in society today. The few companies that get it right have my undying loyalty. And talking to people, they agree. When a customer gets great service, they are incredibly loyal. So today, what I'd like to do is give you a little teaching on customer service from the lens of marketing, specifically a type of marketing we call retention marketing, which means helping good customers come back time and time again. So bear with me while I get my PowerPoint up here. I'm going to share with you what I know. Again, this is kind of like top level. because if I were really teaching this, I could do an 8-week course on it. And I only have, a short amount of time with you guys each week. But I will teach you a little bit about customer service. And if you want to know more about this topic, like me to teach more about it each week, leave a comment in the YouTube channel or drop me a note through my company, Seven Oaks Consulting. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear more about what you would like to learn. Then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you a little homework. Ready? Let's get going. All right. So let me share my screen here and let me go in. And let's start the slideshow. Okay. All righty. So customer service, it is your secret weapon when it comes to retention marketing. I'm going to tell you why it is your secret weapon and why it works to not only save you money on your marketing, but increase your revenues. So good customer service as part of retention marketing, it leads to repeat business and it builds trust and loyalty. I know for myself, the brands that give me great service have my loyalty. I come back to them time and time again, and I have referred them over and over again, whether it's on social media and somebody's looking for a repair shop, a place to bring their pets to the vet, whatever it is. If I'm happy with the service, I tell other people. I leave Google reviews. Google reviews are like gold. They're good for your SEO. We're going to bring SEO into this, but they're also really good at helping people find your business and understand a little bit more about the kind of service you give. They also create emotional connections. Looks like my numbering is off there for some reason. Number 4, should it be revenues where I've got that little graph there? Repeat business brings in new revenue to your company, obviously, because you're selling more to the same customer. But what it is it's less expensive than acquiring a new customer. So acquisition marketing is the field of marketing that brings new leads and new business into your company. That helps your company grow. Retention marketing helps keep the base solid. It helps keep your revenue solid. And retention marketing is less expensive. It costs less for a repeat customer to come back to you than it costs for new business to be brought into your company. And remember always, guys, happy customers lead to referrals and word of mouth marketing, but the opposite is true. I didn't mention names today I was telling you my unpleasant customer service story, but you can be sure that if somebody asks me, what do you think about XYZ brand? Oh, are they going to hear it? I know there is one airline that many years ago, like 20 years ago, really messed up my flight home. I still tell that story. So word of mouth marketing can work in your favor on your brand or against your brands, depending on how your customer feels about it. Why does this matter? Why does this matter to your business? According to Forbes, as reported in Qualtrics, I think it's Qualmetrics actually, which is a survey company, about $3.7 trillion is lost annually due to bad experiences. Can you imagine? I don't even know how big that number is. It's hard to get, isn't it? But any business lost is sad because you've spent a lot of time and effort to bring that business into your company, and losing it through bad service is it's just not good, man. You can easily you can do different things to improve your service. You really can. Increasing customer retention by just 5% can boost profits 25 to 95%, according to Bain and Company. Look at that. So just these little incremental things that you do to increase your customer retention really has an impact on your bottom line. 52% of customers made an additional purchase after receiving excellent service. I've seen that time and time again, especially if you solve a problem, right? We had a long time ago, we ordered a picture. It was a copy of a famous painting, and we ordered it for our new home, and it arrived. It was a very large painting, and the frame was broken on it. So I called service and I said, what do I do about this? And the woman on the phone said, keep it, we'll send you a new one. We went back and we ordered like 3 more paintings for our house to decorate our house with. That's an example of why 52% of consumers made an additional purchase after receiving excellent service. Company didn't say, oh, we'll send you a coupon or, ship it back to us, we'll fix it. They just said, keep it, we'll send you a new one. It really made a difference. So think about that when you are looking at your service metrics, which we'll talk about in a minute. There are ways to handle things that really improve your customers' experience together. And the last bullet, customers who have a positive experience are 5 times more likely to repurchase and 4 times more likely to refer others. Remember, guys, the converse of that is true. Customers who have a poor experience, oh boy, do they like to shout that one from the rooftops. And you'll end up online in social media, on Reddit threads, and review sites with a bad reputation. And that's really hard to turn around if that happens to you. But the converse is true. If people love your company and they love your service and you knock it out of the park, they're going to go online and tell others about that too. Now, how do you measure customer service impact? There are many ways to measure it. Obviously, customer satisfaction scores or CSAT is very important. I said before about reviews. I measure it for my company on the reviews that I get. I ask customers to leave me Google reviews, or on LinkedIn, if I'm working with a company, say as their fractional content director or fractional chief marketing officer, when my contract with that company ends, I'll ask some of the people I've worked with to leave me LinkedIn reviews. Another way of measuring your customer service impact, ask people to leave reviews. Google reviews, another good way, right? Repeat business. How much repeat business are you getting? Well, how do you measure that? This formula on the left is the formula for customer retention rate. It looks scary, but it's really not. It's the number of customers at the end of a period minus the number of new customers acquired during that period. And then you divide that by the number of customers at the start of the period and times it by 100. And that's your customer retention rate. There's no good or bad retention rate. It's kind of like with direct marketing and everybody says, what's a good response rate? Excuse me, I need some water. There's really no good or bad. I would just say as long as it's in the positive, what you want to see is it ticking up. So if you start at 2%, that's your starting point, make it better. Go to 5%, go to 10%. Look at your numbers and start measuring this. Another thing to measure is customer lifetime value. That's the value of a customer over their lifetime with your company. It equals the average purchase value times purchase frequency times customer lifespan. Average purchase value is calculated as the total revenue divided by the number of purchases. Purchase frequency is the number of purchases divided by the number of customers. And the lifespan is the average length of time a customer stays with your brand. Direct marketing, we used to measure this all the time. You want to also look at your churn rate, which is how many customers stop doing business with you. Churn rate's a little tricky. For my business as a consultant, I have the majority of my customers stay with me a very long time. Part of that service, part of that is, it's really the relationships that I build. There are some customers, however, who hire me just for one project. That's not really churn rate. Going into that engagement, I know that they need me for just one project. So to see them end that project and not come back is natural because there's really no reason for them to continue. They might come back later on. I've had that happen many times where I've completed a successful engagement with somebody, and then a month, a year, even several years later, they return and they ask me to do another project because they were happy with the first one. It's easier to measure these things in a retail or e-commerce setting, I think, but you can still measure it if you have a service-based business too. The bottom line here, guys, is that customer service is invaluable. Good service leads to repeat business, happy customers who tell the world that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they bring you more business. Unhappy customers will tell the world about their bad experience. They will be just as vocal, if not more so, in order to try and right it. Their sense of right and wrong has been really compromised. And when that happens, they really they're really unhappy. They really want to feel like their world is right now. In other words, they want to feel like they're getting justice. And that's an energy that you don't want with your business. You want happy, satisfied customers. You want people saying, yeah, Seven Oaks Consulting, man, they are really great to work with. Thankfully, they do say that. We do give our all whenever we work with people. But you want people saying the same thing about you. Here's what I want you to do, guys, and this is going to be different homework whether you are in business to business or business to consumer. All of you should take a look at your service scores. Look at your retention rate. Look at how many customers have stayed with you over time? Do you have a good retention rate? Good meaning, does the majority, I would say the majority of your customers, do they come back? Or are you constantly churning? Again, that depends upon your business. There are some businesses that people just come to you once for something and then they're done. There are some businesses in which that the length of time between customer return visits is very long. My car dealership is a great example of that. I'm very loyal to our car dealership. They've done a great job with our service over the years. We go back to buy vehicles from them, but we don't buy a vehicle every year, right? That's something that we buy, many years in between, but we do come back to their service department. That's an example of a business that customers are not going to come and buy from you every year, but are they coming back to you for other things? Or even if they don't come back every year, is the space between the visits, is that a normal amount of time? Are they still coming back to you? For those of you in e-commerce businesses or consumer-based businesses, you should see more frequent return business. You can look at customer lifetime value. You can look at churn rate. You can look at some of the satisfaction metrics. For all businesses, including service businesses, business-to-business services, I want you to look at your reviews. What? You don't have reviews? Go and ask for them. When you complete an engagement with a client, send them a little thank you note. And in the thank you note, include a link where they can leave a Google review for you. If you work on Facebook, maybe Facebook is your primary marketing place, ask them to leave a review there. You can leave reviews there. Ask people to leave you LinkedIn reviews. Ask for them. People don't normally give them unless asked. Make it easy for them to give you a review and brace for it, right? Let them be honest. Don't tell them what to say. If you see some negative reviews, do not take it personally. Put on your analytical hat and say, what can I do to improve this? Immediately go back to the person, if you can, if known, to fix what went wrong. Don't leave a customer angry and unhappy. Fix what went wrong. If you're not able to fix it, at least be sympathetic, empathetic, and give them alternative ways to fix it. You can't make everybody happy. I'm not saying to try and make everybody happy. You're not chocolate or coffee, right? That's the old joke. You are not going to be able to make everybody happy. But what you can do is at least not piss them off. And that's where you want to go with this. So for those of you with business to business offerings who are marketing to other businesses, I want you to look at your reviews, look at your metrics as far as you're able, ask yourself, what can I do to improve? For those of you with business to consumer businesses, I want you to ask yourself, how am I doing? What can I do to improve? And then take just one action step to improve your customer service. I'm Jean Grunert. I'm the president of Seven Oaks Consulting. We are a business-to-business marketing consulting company. We do content marketing, SEO, and RFP writing and other types of writing. I have almost 30 years of experience in marketing. I have managed huge marketing departments and tiny ones. I've worked at 100-year-old companies and startups, and I serve as a fractional or part-time chief marketing officer or content director for companies, as well as provide services like writing, RFP support, search engine optimized websites and analysis and things like that. If you're interested in what we have to offer, we are at 7SEVENOAKS consulting.com. You can find me online. I welcome your comments. I welcome your questions. Come back. We're here every Monday with another marketing lesson on our Monday Marketing Motivation. Be well. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.